Hello there, my classmates and me. We explained the team operations of functions. My team is conformed by Susan Altamirano, Josue Colin, Cleto, Karime Garcia, and me, Jatziry Reyes. Now we go to the first operation.
Hello, good day. Today I will talk about addition and subtraction of a function. Now, a function is a relation that assigns to each input value exactly one output value. Like numbers and polynomials, we can add, subtract, multiply, and divide functions, which results into a new function. Below are the rules to perform this operation on functions. Let f of x and g of x be two functions. Now for addition is if at g of x is equal f of x at g of x. And for example, for addition, we can add two functions. F of x is equal to x squared at 3x minus 4. G of x is equal to x at 3. F at g of x is equal to x squared at 3x minus 4 at 2x at 3. And this is equal to x2 at 2x squared at 5x minus 1. And this is the result. Now, for subtraction, we can subtract two functions as f minus g of x is equal f of x minus g of x. For example, f of x is equal to x squared at 3x minus 4. And g of x is equal to x at 3. Now, if you understand, the result is equal to x2, 2x squared at x minus 7. Now, I really hope I've made clear to you and my explication helps you. Have a nice day.
Hello teacher, my name is Cleto Lopez and I will explain product and function. First, what is the product and function? According to internet, multiples all the number given as arguments and returns the product. For example, f of x is equal 7x minus 5. We have a g of x is equal to x cubic plus 2x. This okay? We compute it this way. F multiplied by x, this multiplied by x, this is equal to f for x multiplied by g for x. Okay? All of that is substituted and is equal to 7x minus 5 and x cubic plus 2x. This and this is multiplying, sorry. Okay, what do we know? In an easy way, we will use the distributive law. in which 7x minus 5 multiplied by x cubic. Later, 7x minus 5 multiplied by plus 2x. Okay, then it will stay it multiplied by x cubic plus 7x minus 5 multiplied by 2x. A more graphical way to understand what I will do is x cubic multiplied to 7x and x cubic multiplied minus 5 equal to multiplied 7x 2 multiplied minus 5, then equal to x cubic multiplied 7x is 7x quarter plus multiplied minus 1 multiplied 4 5 please x cubic and sign equal then 2 multiplied 7 14x x square plus multiplied minus and 2 multiplied 5 10 then x, and that will be all. I'm not good at English, but I did what I call hoping it was understandable until you leaking. Thank you, Prof. Thank you, teacher.
Hello, my name is Josue Ricardo, and I'm going to explain this operation of functions. Okay. We have function f of x is equal to square root 4 minus square equal x squared, and the function g of x is equal to the square root 1 divided by x plus 3. In this operation, we are going to divide function f by function g of x is equal to square root 4 minus x squared divided by square root 1 divided by x plus 3 is equal to all of them square root 4 minus x squared divided by 1 divided by x plus 3, and apparently this division of fraction is equal to square root 4 minus x squared multiplied by x plus 3. Now, this is the solution. Alright, we want to find the domain of function f. Drawing the straight, and we are looking at these numbers. In these numbers, the function f is 0, and the domain of function g, drawing the straight, in this number, the function is irregular, and this part, the function is regular. Now, definition of domain, the function f divided g is equal to of definition, this definition, and the result is minus 2 comma 2.
Our final item is the composition of functions f of x and g of x, where g of x is second first is represented by f of g of x, or f composition g x. It combines two or more functions to result in another function. In the composition of functions, the output of one function that is inside the parentheses become the input of the outside function. We can understand using the following figure. In f of g of x, g is the input of f of x. In g of f of x, f of x is the input of g of x. To find f of g of x, we have to find g of x first, and then we substitute the result in f of x. The symbol of the composition of function is this. F composition g of x is equals f of g of x. Then let's look at the following example.
The composition of two functions is written in this way. If circle g, this is the composition of if with g. Below we have the composition of g with if. The composition can also be made if composition if and g composition g. These four compositions are going to calculate so that the idea is clear. Let's start with the first composition, if composition g of x. The composition is equivalent to the following if evaluated in g x. What this means is that in each of the x of the if, it's going to replace g. That is, instead of the x, we are going to write parentheses, and writing parentheses we put the 2x minus 1, that is g. What we are going to do to see that very clearly is to write the function if here in front, because it is the first function that appears here. We write the function if, but instead of the x, we're going to write parentheses in this way. We have 5 parentheses and plus 3. We multiply 5 with 2x, we have 10x, and 5 with minus 1, we have minus 5. And plus 3, we write also. We add similar terms. The 10x is not similar to any. We had it negative 5 plus 3 equals negative 2. So if composition G remains 10x minus 2.
Now, for G composition f of x, this equals, as in each x of G, we are going to substitute their f. So starting typing the function G of f of x, but in the x we are going to put a parenthesis, so G of f of x equals to 2 parentheses 5x plus 3 close parentheses minus 1, and we do the operations. 2 times 5 equals 10x plus 2 times 3, 6, and we pass it minus 1. Subtract 6 minus 1, and finally is 10x plus 5. Now we discovered the domain for f composition g of x. Now this equals the domain for f of g of x. We find the number where g b equals 0 with this formula: k x input domain g absolute value g of x input domain of f, and close the k. Now for remember of value of g of x is 2x minus 1, and in this case x equals a half of half, and we substitute this number in the formula. Now is key half of half input domain g absolute value g of a half of half input domain f, and we write this domain of function like all the real numbers except key half of half. Remember the value of f of x is 5x plus 3, and the domain is for g of f of x equals key x input domain of f absolute value f of x input domain g, close the key. And for this case the value of x is minus 3/50, and we substitute of the formula is key minus 3/50 input domain of f absolute value f minus 3/50 input domain g. And finally we write the domain like all the real numbers except minus 3/50. That's it. Thanks to everyone who watched this video about the theme operation on functions, and I hope you like it.